Inside a secret Nazi bunker, just 10 feet underground, archaeologists were shocked by what they found. Deep in the heart of a dense old forest, where sunlight barely breaks through the canopy in thin rays, you would never guess that, in this seemingly unknown place, lies a chilling secret, a secret buried for decades beneath an old moss-covered swimming pool. Welcome to the 10 Minutes Discovery Channel, where we explore mysteries that have been sleeping through time. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover Adolf Hitler's last secret hideout outside Germany, a forgotten relic swallowed by nature, one that sent shivers down the spines of explorers who dared to enter. The story begins with a man named Marc Ascat, a French photographer and explorer. During what seemed like a routine trip into the forest, he stumbled upon something unimaginable: a dilapidated swimming pool, abandoned and overgrown in the woods. But what intrigued Marc wasn't the pool itself, but a strange feeling he had standing nearby, a sensation that something was hidden just beneath the surface. After days of investigation and searching for clues, Marc and his team discovered a small entrance cleverly concealed by trees and moss. And from that moment, the terrifying journey officially began. A door leading to a secret bunker about 100 feet underground slowly opened. But what awaited them wasn't treasure, nor a forgotten structure. It was an underground maze stretching nearly 6 miles, with dozens of rooms connected by dark, cold corridors. Every step echoed with mysterious sounds from the deep below. The cracked walls were covered in moss and marks left by the passage of time. Scattered across them were faint traces of scribbled writings, perhaps notes, orders, or final words from those who once served the Nazi leader. Marc recounted that his expedition team faced an extremely harsh journey, not just because of the challenging terrain, but due to the unexplainable chill that filled the space once occupied by one of history's most dangerous men. Every dark corner and unexpected noise sent their hearts racing. According to many experts, this could very well be Hitler's last base and that of his closest generals outside Germany, built as a contingency plan during the final stages of World War II. From here, many military directives were issued, and no one knows how many secret meetings took place in this cold underground world. The truly terrifying part is that all of this was buried and forgotten for decades, to the point where nature almost erased every trace. Without the persistence and fierce spirit of exploration from Marc Ascat, this secret might have remained lost forever beneath the damp forest floor. Marc is not alone. A German explorer named Robert Conrad once ventured into another Hitler bunker elsewhere in Germany. He even feared for his life simply for capturing photos of the site. Such immense secrets and sensitive traces have cost those brave enough to seek them dearly. Despite the risks, Marc Ascat insists, "What we see here is a part of history, and history cannot be buried forever." What do you think about this horrifying discovery? Could there be more secrets hidden within this bunker? And what caused it to vanish from the map for over half a century? Share your thoughts in the comments below so we can discuss together. Of course, this bunker discovery is not the only one. Over many centuries, archaeologists and experts from around the world have made countless impressive findings, from mysteries inside tombs to massive treasures and even mummies carrying untold stories. Next, join us as we uncover those discoveries and see what surprises archaeology still has in store for us. The Chinese immigrant mummies in Peru. In the heart of bustling Lima, where modern skyscrapers compete for the sky, a historical mystery has quietly resurfaced from beneath the ground. Not within a museum or famous archaeological site, but buried less than 3 feet underground, archaeologists uncovered a shocking discovery: 3 mummies in old wooden coffins, believed to belong to Chinese immigrants from the 19th century. At first glance, this might seem like a typical archaeological find, but the story behind it is a moving chapter in the journey of people who left their homeland, crossed oceans in search of a new life, and ultimately found eternal rest in a foreign land. The mummies uncovered were not royalty or nobles, but ordinary laborers, men who once worked in factories, mines, and most notably, for the Calida Natural Gas Company in Lima and Callao. The bodies were found lying peacefully in humble wooden coffins. Beside them were a few personal items, not gold or jewels, but handcrafted artifacts rich in traditional Chinese symbolism: a metal lighter, an opium pipe, items once common in the 19th century. These small objects encapsulate an entire culture, a forgotten past buried in the heart of South America. Their presence is not only physical evidence of a turbulent era of migration, but also a poignant reminder of a little-known chapter in history, the first wave of Chinese immigration to Peru in the mid-19th century. Amidst the booming sugar and cotton industries, thousands of Chinese, primarily from Guangdong, left their homeland to work in plantations, factories, and construction sites in Peru. Their lives were far from easy. They toiled under grueling conditions, lived in harsh environments, and often faced discrimination from the local population. Yet, it was these same individuals who quietly laid the foundation for Chinese culture in Peru. The burial artifacts are more than everyday items. They are enduring symbols of identity. A simple opium pipe may reflect a habit, but in this context, it stands as a testament to a community that once existed. A community that loved, suffered, and is now honored through the dust of time. Archaeologists believe these 3 mummies are only the beginning. They expect to uncover many more remains of Chinese migrants scattered throughout the area. That means countless untold stories, forgotten memories, and a lost piece of history are still waiting to be brought to light. In an age where global connection is only a tap away, it's sobering to realize that entire lives, entire communities, could be forgotten for over 100 years. This discovery isn't just an archaeological event. It's a powerful reminder that every life, no matter how small or anonymous, contributes to the fabric of history. And perhaps those Chinese immigrants of long ago never truly left. They remain with us, in every coffin, every rusted lighter, every whiff of opium smoke that vanished into the air more than a century ago. The journey from Guangdong to Lima was not just a voyage across oceans. It was a migration of hope, hardship, and a culture swept into the tides of history. Thanks to the dedication of today's archaeologists, these stories are finally resurfacing. As a tribute to the souls who once lived, dreamed, and quietly sacrificed. They are not just mummies. They are witnesses to a turbulent era, symbols of unyielding willpower in a foreign land. And the final question for us all: how many more pieces of history lie beneath our feet, waiting to be heard? The answer may be hard to find, but perhaps one day, archaeologists will uncover them all. A 140,000-year-old sunken city beneath the ocean. Deep beneath the ocean floor, buried under layers of mud and sand in the Madura Strait, the body of water linking Indonesia's Java and Madura Islands, scientists have made a stunning revelation: the remains of an ancient city. This could be the first physical evidence of a long-lost world in human history. What shocked archaeologists and scientists even more was the discovery of a Homo erectus skull, an ancient ancestor of modern humans, along with more than 6,000 prehistoric animal fossils. These clues might unlock the mysterious past of Sundaland, a now submerged region that once teemed with human and animal life. Imagine a vast landmass connecting much of present-day Southeast Asia, complete with rivers, dense forests, and fertile valleys. Picture massive ancient elephants, stegodons, standing over 13 feet tall and weighing more than 22,000 pounds, roaming freely across lush grasslands. Envision early Homo erectus using stone tools to hunt deer, Komodo dragons, and wild buffalo in a vibrant ecosystem, now lost beneath the ocean. Remarkably, some of the animal bones found here bear distinct cut marks, not from natural decay, but from deliberate human activity. These are vivid signs that our ancestors not only walked upright, but also crafted tools for hunting and food preparation. They weren't just survivors, they were strategists. All this was not discovered through a grand excavation, but by sheer accident. In 2011, local sand miners unearthed the fossils during underwater dredging. With each heavy scoop of sand, they unknowingly lifted fragments of ancient history from the ocean floor. Years later, scientists conducted thorough analyses and carbon dating, estimating the fossils to be between 119,000 and 162,000 years old, dating back to the late Middle Pleistocene, a time when Earth was still battling glacial ice and extreme climate shifts. Harold Berghuis, an archaeologist from Leiden University, described this period as one of morphological diversity and high mobility among hominin populations. This suggests that not just one group, but multiple migrating communities might have lived here, forming a complex and rich prehistoric culture. Researchers also uncovered remnants of a buried ancient valley system, likely part of the extinct Solo River. Based on sediment layers and the abundance of samples, they believe this was once a thriving river ecosystem with water, vegetation, and wildlife, an ideal setting for early human life. So what caused it all to vanish beneath the sea? The likely answer: melting glaciers. Between 14,000 and 7,000 years ago, rising global temperatures triggered massive glacial melts, which flooded the oceans and submerged the vast lands of Sundaland, transforming a once thriving human habitat into a seabed. Yet, buried beneath the waves, that chapter of humanity's history is not lost. Fossils, skull fragments, and even ancient hunting marks speak volumes, urging us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep learning about our extraordinary origins. Could Sundaland be the real-life Eastern Atlantis, a lost civilization swallowed by the sea? Or is it simply an overlooked piece of forgotten history? Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: what lies beneath the Madura Strait isn't just fossilized remains. It's living proof of how humans lived, fought, and adapted amid Earth's harshest changes. And the quest to uncover this lost world, it may have only just begun. A mysterious artifact, a giant bronze cauldron, weighing 2,200 pounds, found beneath a house foundation. One ordinary morning in the tranquil countryside of central Java, Indonesia, the rhythmic sound of shovels and pickaxes echoed as workers dug into the earth, removing clods of soil as they would for any construction project. Little did they know, a few strokes of the shovel would turn the neighborhood into a hotspot, attracting hundreds of curious onlookers. Then, the unimaginable happened. At a depth of approximately 3 feet beneath the ground, construction workers preparing the foundation for a townhouse suddenly encountered an unusual object. Initially, they assumed it was a large water pipe, perhaps an old forgotten utility line. But as they continued to dig, a round shape began to emerge. Not a pipe, but a massive metal object resembling a deep, concave cauldron straight out of legend. When the entire cauldron was lifted from the earth, the entire neighborhood buzzed with excitement. Children cheered, and adults couldn't stop taking photos and videos. Various stories and theories quickly circulated about the mysterious origins of this ancient artifact. Some speculated it was an ancient cooking vessel. Others believed it was a sacred treasure from the ancient Javanese kingdom. But no one knew for sure. What was truly astonishing was that the cauldron remained nearly perfectly intact after centuries buried underground. The land where the artifact was discovered belonged to a local businessman named Widodo, who had purchased the plot years earlier. For 3 years, the land had remained vacant, and he had no idea it concealed a 1,000-year-old heritage. Planning to build a new house in preparation for his son's wedding, he never expected to unearth a piece of forgotten history. Upon hearing the news, Indonesia's Cultural Heritage Agency immediately dispatched experts to the site. To prevent any potential damage, the entire construction area was cordoned off and work was temporarily halted. After measuring the artifact, experts determined that the cauldron stood about 4.6 feet tall, was 9.8 feet in diameter, and had walls 14 inches thick. Surprisingly, despite its massive size, it was not as heavy as it appeared. Just 4 adults could move it with relative ease. Researchers believe this artifact could be several hundred years old and might have once served as a giant cooking pot for an ancient military camp. Remarkably, despite being buried for so long, it showed minimal signs of deterioration, only a thin layer of rust. This raises a significant question. What material was it made from to withstand the ravages of time so well? This is where modern technology comes into play. Indonesia is at the forefront of applying artificial intelligence and digital technology in archaeology. From using AI to analyze images to employing machine learning for artifact recognition, everything is being digitized and processed more accurately than ever before. Deep learning algorithms are even being used to create 3D models of the artifact, allowing experts to examine every minute detail without direct contact. Furthermore, photogrammetry techniques are being utilized to digitally reconstruct and preserve the artifact in entirely new ways. In regions like Yogyakarta, archaeologists are even using drones and satellite imagery to create archaeological stratigraphy maps, helping to locate potential burial sites of artifacts without unnecessary excavation. Imagine, someday you could virtually walk through an archaeological site using VR technology, exploring the ancient cauldron in 360 degrees, examining every rust mark, all from the comfort of your home. The mysteries of history, the stories from millennia ago, are now being told using the most advanced technology humanity has ever had. What adds a heartwarming touch to this story is that Widodo, the landowner, decided to donate the cauldron to researchers for study and cultural heritage preservation. In an era where many might choose to keep or even sell such a valuable artifact for material gain, his gesture stands out as a beautiful act of generosity. The cauldron may just be an old cooking vessel, or perhaps the last remaining piece of a lost civilization. But more importantly, it symbolizes the connection between the past and the present, between history and technology, between humanity and the secrets still lying beneath the earth. The mysterious pyramid, beneath the Sea of Japan. Beneath the clear blue waters of the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of Yonaguni Island, the southernmost point of Japan's Ryukyu archipelago, lies a mystery that has puzzled scientists for nearly 40 years. It's not a shipwreck, nor is it a simple natural phenomenon. It is a massive, awe-inspiring structure resting silently on the ocean floor, resembling a sunken ancient city. First discovered in 1985 by a professional diver, the architectural complex was named the Yonaguni Monument. It bears no resemblance to anything previously found. Long stone steps, colossal pyramidal blocks with perfectly geometric shapes lie deep beneath the surface, suggesting that an ancient civilization may have once existed there, only to vanish without a trace. From above, the structure appears like a giant labyrinth, meticulously arranged with sharp angular lines, instantly prompting many to suspect human intervention. The stone steps descend as though leading into a temple. Some sections of the complex rise as high as 89 feet, approximately the height of a 9-story building. Even more surprising is that the entire structure is made from mudstone, a material that is not easy to carve or shape manually, especially on such a large scale. According to age assessments, the Yonaguni monument could have formed between 8,000 and 10,000 BCE, making it older than any known human civilization, including those of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. If true, what lies beneath the Sea of Japan could rewrite the entire history of human civilization. Since its discovery, Yonaguni has become the center of countless debates, theories, and even conspiracy speculations. Some believe it to be the remnants of Mu, a mythical advanced civilization said to have existed in the Pacific before being wiped out by a tsunami. Others suggest it could be the Atlantis of the East, a city lost without a trace after a natural disaster. There are even extraterrestrial theories. Proponents of this idea claim that the structures could not have been built by primitive human hands. They're too precise, too perfect, and too enormous, demanding construction techniques that would impress even modern engineers. So, who built Yonaguni? Could it be that humanity was not the first civilization on Earth? Among the many theories, Professor Masaki Kimura, a renowned marine geologist from the University of the Ryukyus, has dedicated nearly his entire career to studying Yonaguni. Initially, he believed the formations were natural, but after his first dive, his perspective changed completely. Beneath layers of sediment, he discovered traces of polishing tools, primitive carvings, and even stone slabs shaped like animals. He stated firmly, "There is too much evidence to say this is just a geological formation. There are clear signs of human influence here." Furthermore, archaeologists from the University of London made a shocking claim. The people who built Yonaguni might have been more advanced than the civilizations of Mesopotamia or the Indus Valley, both traditionally seen as the cradle of humanity. This raises an enormous question. Did a highly advanced civilization once exist, only to vanish completely from history? And if so, what happened to it? A great flood? A cataclysmic earthquake? Or simply the slow decay of time? No one knows for certain. Only the ocean keeps the secret. And the Yonaguni monument stands as a quiet reminder that humanity may not fully understand its own past. Today, thanks to modern archaeological technology, research teams are continuing to reconstruct a 3D model of the entire complex. Data collected from drones, sonar, and satellite imagery is gradually redrawing Yonaguni's original form. Perhaps someday soon, we'll be able to explore this submerged city through virtual reality, walking down its stone corridors, standing on its ancient steps, and witnessing history through modern eyes. In the depths of the sea, where light barely reaches, Yonaguni waits silently to tell its story. An overlooked chapter, a riddle for humankind, and perhaps the key to unlocking the dawn of Earth's first civilization. A 5,000-year-old treasure beneath the desert sands. Can you imagine that? Right in the heart of the scorching and unforgiving Rub al-Khali, one of the hottest and harshest deserts on Earth, there exists an ancient 5,000-year-old civilization buried deep beneath endless layers of sand? At first, I didn't believe it either. But such a discovery was recently announced by scientists, stunning the archaeological world and igniting global curiosity. What makes this discovery even more remarkable is that it wasn't made through traditional, expensive, and labor-intensive excavation methods. Instead, researchers used cutting-edge technology, artificial intelligence, AI, and satellite imagery to uncover the ancient civilization. Thanks to these tools, they were able to see through thick desert sand invisible to the human eye, detecting traces that had remained hidden for thousands of years. A research team from Khalifa University in Abu Dhabi developed a special AI algorithm capable of analyzing satellite radar images. This radar can penetrate desert sand layers to identify ancient structures such as walls, roads, and forgotten settlements. That's how they found evidence of a 5,000-year-old civilization lying deep within the Rub al-Khali Desert, one of the largest and most extreme deserts on the planet. Dr. Diana Francis, the lead researcher, shared, "Conducting archaeological surveys in the desert is extremely challenging due to weather conditions and terrain. Using satellite data combined with AI gives us a way to locate buried sites without the high costs and time-consuming nature of physical excavation." This technology not only helped identify new archaeological traces in the United Arab Emirates, but it also holds promise for desert regions around the world, including North Africa and the Middle East. It marks the beginning of a new era in modern archaeology, where machines and artificial intelligence become powerful tools in uncovering our ancient past. Following the announcement, the Dubai Culture Authority swiftly granted excavation permits for the areas flagged by the research team. This is a crucial step that will allow archaeologists to verify the findings and delve deeper into this ancient civilization, giving us valuable insight into human history and development. This story has captured not just the attention of scientists, but also sparked the curiosity of history enthusiasts and explorers alike. If such an ancient civilization could exist beneath the sands of Rub al-Khali, imagine what other mysteries might still be waiting to be discovered across the world's vast deserts. The combination of AI and satellite imagery has truly transformed how we approach archaeology. No longer reliant solely on risky, traditional digs, we now have high-tech expeditions that save time and resources while dramatically expanding the scope and accuracy of exploration. The magnificent water supply system of ancient Rome. When people think of ancient Roman civilization, they often picture legendary colosseums, powerful emperors, or grand symbolic temples. But behind the glory of these iconic symbols lies a lesser-known yet truly monumental achievement, an infrastructure so advanced that it amazed the ancient world and continues to impress modern science: the Roman water supply system. This vast network, often referred to as the lifeblood of the Roman Empire, sustained one of the greatest civilizations in history for centuries. Among the ancient stone cities, one structure stands out in particular: Aqua Virgo, an underground aqueduct stretching nearly 13 miles. It was constructed in the 1st century BCE under the leadership of Marcus Agrippa, one of Emperor Augustus's most trusted generals. Aqua Virgo was far more than a water channel. It was a true engineering marvel. Quietly operating beneath the surface, it was vital to the survival and growth of millions of Roman citizens. According to legend, the source of Aqua Virgo's pure water was discovered by a young maiden who guided Roman soldiers to a spring flowing from the Sabine Mountains. In her honor, the system was named Virgo, meaning virgin in Latin. From this source, tens of thousands of cubic meters of water flowed into Rome daily, and remarkably, some sections of this ancient system are still functioning today, over 2,000 years later. Hard to believe, isn't it? At its peak, ancient Rome had 11 major aqueduct systems, delivering up to 132 million gallons of water each day, a volume that would astonish even modern cities. These aqueducts ran underground, crossed valleys, tunneled through hills, and in some cases spanned gorges via massive multi-tiered bridges like the Pont du Gard in southern France. This aqueduct stretches 31 miles and has a height difference of just 40 feet, a slope of only 0.0248%, almost perfectly precise. To achieve this extraordinary accuracy, the Romans used a device known as the corabates, an ancient type of leveling instrument. With it, they measured and adjusted each segment of the aqueduct with precision down to the millimeter. For example, the Anio Novus, one of the most famous aqueducts, had a slope of just 4.3 feet per mile, yet it still managed to maintain a continuous flow of water from the mountains to the heart of the city. The entire system was built using a special Roman concrete called opus caementicium. This material was highly water-resistant and extremely durable, so much so that many aqueducts and bridges remain standing thousands of years later. Inside, the rectangular water channels were lined with multiple layers of waterproof plaster to prevent leaks, something even today's water systems struggle to achieve. The brilliance of Roman engineering wasn't just in their overall design, but also in their attention to detail. In challenging terrain, they used hollow stone pipes fitted with mechanical joints, essentially the ancient prototype of modern plumbing. Some of these pipes even had inspection holes to check and clean out sediment, which were then sealed with a special material to ensure long-term efficiency. It's almost unbelievable that such advanced engineering came from a civilization that existed thousands of years ago. Today, if you visit Parco degli Acquedotti in Rome, you can still see the remains of these aqueducts standing proudly among grassy fields, winding in parallel like eternal monuments to the genius of Roman engineers. In some places, the vaulted arches of the aqueducts soar up to 89 feet high, leaving modern visitors speechless at the sheer scale and accuracy achieved without any digital technology. Looking at these structures, one realizes that greatness doesn't always come in the form of pyramids or colossal statues. Sometimes it lies in the quiet flow of water, something that once nourished an empire and left an indelible mark on human history. Once again, ancient Rome shows us that engineering is not just a tool, it's a symbol of progress and forward thinking. And perhaps the greatest lesson they left us is this: when you harness knowledge and intellect, you can create works that not only defy time, but also stretch the limits of imagination. The Scythian treasure and ancient drug rituals. Amid the rugged mountains of the Caucasus, where Europe and Asia meet, a 2013 archaeological discovery sent shockwaves through the historical world. What began as a routine electrical line installation near the city of Stavropol in southern Russia turned into something extraordinary. Deep beneath the frozen earth, workers stumbled upon an ancient burial chamber, long thought to have been lost to time and grave robbers. But hidden beyond those lifeless layers of dirt and stone was a stunning secret, a stash of pure gold and traces of ancient narcotics, concealed in a secret chamber inside a 400-year-old Scythian tomb. This treasure not only stunned archaeologists with its material value, but also opened an unexpected gateway into a world where warriors, rituals, and mind-altering substances blended in ways few could have imagined. The Scythians, a nomadic people who once roamed the vast Eurasian steppes, have now compelled the modern world to rethink how they lived, fought, and worshipped. Upon entering the tomb, archaeologists were initially disappointed to find the main chamber looted and nearly empty. But their fortune changed when they discovered a cleverly hidden underground room. Inside was nearly 7 pounds of pure gold. Not crude ingots, but exquisitely crafted items such as bracelets, rings, cups, and jars, each intricately decorated with scenes of warriors, animals, mythology, and solemn rituals. Some of the vessels depicted Scythian warriors in battle stance, complete with detailed attire, hairstyles, weapons, and facial expressions so vivid they seemed like ancient slow-motion film scenes etched in gold. But the biggest surprise came later. When experts analyzed the black residue left inside several of the gold vessels, the results shocked the research team. Traces of opium and cannabis were found, potent psychoactive substances likely used in religious rituals or as preparation for war. At that moment, this golden treasure became more than a collection of luxury items. It became living evidence of an ancient drug ritual, long speculated upon but never proven until now. The Greek historian Herodotus wrote of such Scythian customs over 2 millennia ago. According to his accounts, after battle, Scythians would gather in a sealed tent. Inside, they burned plants containing intoxicating substances, inhaled the smoke, and entered a state of divine trance. This wasn't just a ritual, it was a spiritual connection, a way to commune with their gods of war. And now, this newly discovered treasure, offers the clearest physical confirmation of Herodotus's writings. After centuries of skepticism and forgetfulness, gold, narcotics, and ritual, three elements rarely associated together, have merged here to paint a vivid portrait of Scythian spiritual and cultural life. They were not merely fierce horsemen charging across the plains, but deeply ritualistic people living at the crossroads of reality and myth, in a world illuminated by the gleam of gold and shrouded in the haze of ancient herbs. This discovery has been hailed as a once-in-a-century find, not just for its monetary value, but for the deeper questions it raises. Who was buried here? Was he a general, a shaman, or a nomadic king? Why was the drug ritual so meticulously concealed? And how many other hidden chambers might still lie undisturbed beneath the soil of the Caucasus Mountains? While these questions remain unanswered, this find sheds new light on the complexity and richness of ancient cultures we once thought we fully understood. The Olmec stone heads, a mystery that has challenged humanity for thousands of years. In a forgotten corner of human history, deep within the jungles of present-day Mexico, lie strange remnants that have puzzled scientists for decades. They are not Egyptian pyramids, nor are they the Moai statues of Easter Island, but their allure and mystery are no less compelling. These are the colossal stone heads of the Olmec civilization, one of the oldest and least understood ancient cultures in the Americas. Imagine standing before a carved stone head weighing nearly 40,000 pounds and standing almost 11.5 feet tall, sculpted with astonishingly lifelike and detailed human features. What makes them even more enigmatic is the origin of the stones themselves. They do not come from the area where the heads were found. Instead, they were quarried from the Tuxtlas Mountains, more than 186 miles away, a staggering distance for any ancient civilization to cover. So how did the Olmecs, who lived more than 3,000 years ago, manage to transport such massive stones without wheels, without metal tools, and without modern machinery? According to experts, moving a single stone head would have required over 1,500 people pulling continuously for 3 to 4 months, an almost unimaginable feat given the harsh conditions of the time. And even then, the mystery doesn't end there. After the stones were transported, they had to be meticulously carved into human likenesses, a task demanding an incredibly advanced level of craftsmanship. This leads to another unanswered question. What tools did they use to create such intricate sculptures? To this day, no definitive evidence has been found indicating that the Olmecs possessed metal tools or stone-cutting technology capable of producing such precision. So what enabled them to create masterpieces that have withstood the test of millennia? The discovery of the Olmec stone heads didn't just shock the archaeological community, it upended long-standing beliefs about the origins of Mesoamerican civilization. For a long time, anthropologists assumed the Maya were the first to lay the foundations of Central American culture. However, archaeological evidence now strongly suggests that it was actually the Olmecs, not the Maya, who were the founding fathers of Mesoamerican civilization. They not only created massive and mysterious stone art, but also built large cities and monumental pyramids, well before the rise of Rome, and even earlier than the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. This proves that the Olmecs were not merely skilled sculptors, but also visionary architects and engineers, with capabilities that far exceeded what was once thought possible for their time. Could it be that the Olmecs possessed some forgotten technology or ancient knowledge that modern humanity has yet to uncover? Many theories have been proposed. Some suggest assistance from extraterrestrial civilizations, others speculate about a lost prehistoric technology. None of these have been confirmed, and the mystery remains. Yet no matter how far-fetched the theories, one thing is undeniable. The Olmecs were centuries ahead of their time. They had deep understanding of astronomy, architecture, mathematics, and art. The ability to synchronize multi-ton blocks, carve detailed facial expressions, and coordinate such massive efforts reveals an extraordinary level of intelligence, system thinking, and organizational skill rarely seen in ancient civilizations. What makes the Olmec heads truly special is not just their immense size or technical brilliance, but the story behind them. A story long forgotten, buried by time, yet quietly challenging our understanding of human history. They serve as a powerful reminder that there is still so much we don't know about the past, and that every new discovery has the potential to change how we view the history of our species. Perhaps buried within those ancient ruins still lie clues, fragments of a civilization that once shone brightly and held secrets far beyond its age. And when will we finally uncover those answers? Perhaps they are still lying deep beneath the earth, quietly waiting for the day they will be awakened. A 1,200-year-old mansion in the desert. Amid the arid expanse of the Negev desert, where sand, wind, and scorching sunlight stretch endlessly to the horizon, a long-buried secret has unexpectedly come to light after lying dormant for more than 200 years. Archaeologists recently announced the excavation of a luxurious ancient mansion, unveiling a fascinating new chapter in the history of the Middle East, right in the Bedouin town of southern Israel. No one had imagined that a place as harsh and seemingly barren as the Negev could once have hosted what archaeologists describe as a luxurious rural estate. This was no ordinary dwelling, but an architectural marvel from the 8th to 9th century CE at the dawn of the Islamic period. The Israel Antiquities Authority described the site as a buried gem in the desert sands, with marble-paved corridors, walls adorned with exquisite frescoes, and intricate architectural details that speak to the opulence of a forgotten era. What makes this discovery especially significant is not just the elegance of the structure itself, but its geographical setting. This is the first site of its kind ever uncovered in the Negev desert. A mansion with vaulted ceilings and a central courtyard, hallmarks of early Islamic architecture, was found far from the power and economic centers of the time. This surprising location has led archaeologists to pose several pressing questions. Who lived here? Why build such a lavish residence in the heart of a harsh desert? The answers may lie hidden in the underground rooms and storage chambers, where excavation teams found ancient oil lamps and a subterranean water reservoir. These clues confirm that the estate was more than just a home. It was a carefully designed living space meant for daily life and entertaining guests. This was no ordinary residence. According to archaeologist Noé D. Michael, the estate's grandeur and the complexity of its underground features reflect the immense wealth and influence of its original owner. Whoever lived here had not only the power to build a grand estate, but also the means to sustain a life of comfort in the middle of the desert. Based on the evidence, it is likely that this mansion belonged to a high-ranking figure, perhaps a local lord or regional governor, someone who wielded authority and had a refined sense of aesthetics and organizational skill. The discovery radically changes our understanding of the Negev's past. Until now, there had been no signs that the area was once home to nobility or elite rulers, but this impressive architectural site whispers a different story. That the Negev once flourished, hosted gatherings of power, and was a crossroads where art, architecture, and survival strategy thrived together. This is a vivid testament to human adaptation and advancement during the early Islamic era. Rather than being defeated by the desert, these people transformed it into a livable, enjoyable, and socially elevated space. It also illustrates the far-reaching influence of Islamic civilization in the 8th century, not just in religion, but in architecture, economy, and lifestyle. More than just an archaeological discovery, this site is a vital puzzle piece in the larger portrait of ancient Middle Eastern history. The marble tiles, the preserved frescoes, even the water reservoir and oil lamps, these are not merely relics, but clues pointing us back to an era when rulers lived hidden in the desert, surrounded by luxury and power. This find is not just the uncovering of an ancient house, it is a time portal, opening a journey into a civilization that once thrived in a place long thought uninhabitable. It serves as a powerful reminder that beneath the thick dust of history lie untold stories of power, ambition, and the human will to master nature. And perhaps this is just the beginning. For the Negev may still be hiding many more secrets, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to seek the truth among the fragments of time. The hidden treasure within the ancient tower. On an ordinary afternoon in the Xinhua region of China, 3 children were innocently searching for bird nests within the grounds of an ancient pagoda. Unbeknownst to them, their playful curiosity would soon lead to the discovery of one of the most significant archaeological treasures in Chinese history. A sudden slip, a moment of wonder, and the earth beneath them revealed a hidden world of unparalleled beauty and craftsmanship. What emerged was a treasure trove valued at approximately 50 billion Chinese yuan, about $7 billion USD. not in gold or jewels, but in sacred relics of exquisite artistry and profound spiritual significance. At the heart of this discovery stood a nearly 1,000-year-old reliquary pagoda, meticulously crafted from rare southern wood and adorned with over 40,000 pearls. Its intricate design incorporated materials such as gold, silver, sandalwood, and the revered seven treasures of Buddhism. The pagoda's structure was divided into three symbolic sections: the 2D hall, the Buddha hall, and the pagoda shaft, each representing profound elements of Buddhist philosophy. The centerpiece of the Buddha hall housed a delicate vessel containing 9 sacred relics, known as sarira. These relics are believed to be the crystallized remains of enlightened monks or the Buddha himself, formed after cremation. In Buddhist tradition, sarira are not mere symbols, but are considered miraculous manifestations of spiritual purity and wisdom, often exhibiting properties such as luminescence and hardness surpassing that of diamonds. In addition to the reliquary, the treasure included ancient manuscripts, woodblock prints of the Lotus Sutra, and numerous artifacts from bygone eras, each bearing the imprints of a once thriving civilization. The fact that these relics were concealed within a pagoda for centuries, remaining undisturbed until this chance discovery, raises intriguing questions. Were they deliberately preserved as a sacred legacy for future generations? This revelation not only enriches our understanding of ancient Chinese culture, but also challenges our perceptions of the spiritual and artistic achievements of past civilizations. It serves as a poignant reminder that beneath the sands of time lie stories of faith, artistry, and wisdom waiting to be uncovered. As we reflect on this extraordinary find, we are reminded of the enduring legacy of those who came before us, whose devotion and creativity continue to inspire awe and admiration. What are your thoughts on this remarkable discovery? Does it prompt you to reconsider the depths of ancient civilization's spiritual and artistic accomplishments? Share your reflections in the comments below. If you are captivated by such tales of historical intrigue, don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications for our upcoming explorations into the mysteries of the past. Until next time, we bid you farewell and look forward to our next journey into the annals of history.